Jata. If I have attachment, I cannot attach it to Krishna. So one gives up the attachment and uses everything in Krishna's service. Who does that? Manushyaha, the great sages, the great devotees. So what is the result out of that? Janma bandha vinirmukta is completely liberated. Janma bandha, from the bondage of birth and death. And then not only is he liberated from the bondage of birth and death, he achieves that position. Padam gachantalayam anamayam. Anamayam means the place where there is no misery. So what is that padam? That padam is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. Vai means no, Kuntha. Kuntha means misery. The place where there is no Kuntha, that is known as Vaikuntha. There's no reason of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, what is the meaning of Vaikuntha? Where there is no misery. So that is Parampadam. Parampadam, Parampadam, Parampadam. Like in December, we are going to Dividation. It is said there are 106 Dividation in this earthly planet. If he completes this 106 Dividation, there is beautiful Mahatma which is written. One is sure to get to Parampadam, which is there in Vaikuntha. By Krishna's mercy, we have done 2 times the whole 106. Now this is the third round which is going on. And this divination extends till Nepal, Badri, they're all considered in divination. Nepal, Muktinath. Very difficult to go, but wonderful to go. So, Muktinath, Badrikashram, Joshima, they all come in divination. Haridwar, that's all come in divination. That is near Haridwar, that is Devaprayag, they all come in divination. So, if you visit all these 106 divination, what is the meaning of divination? Where Lord manifested on his own. Nobody carved the deities. They are self-manifested deities. So in this way, one is sure to get Parampadam. And here what is said, one who gives all the results to Lord. That means one who attaches all his samarthya in Krishna's service. He is sure to go back to God. So when this Padam word has come, there, Srila Prabhupada, he quotes a wonderful verse from 10th canto Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 58th verse. If possible, memorize this verse. Where Padam has been used how many times? Let us see. Samashitaye Padapallavaplavam. One time, right? Mahat Padam Punyesho Murare. 2 times. Bhavam Buddhi Vatsa Padam Param Padam. 2 times there. 4 times we can. Padam 6 times. Yad Vipadam Natesham 7 times. Whether it is Padam or Vipadam, Padam word has come. So 7 times Padam word has come in this very Shloka itself. Let us see the Shloka. I still remember when I was learning Bhakti Shastri, my teacher told, you should learn this verse and count. He told to everyone. Next day, Bhakti Shastri class. Told who have learned? I just slowly raised the hand. So we have learned this verse. It's a very beautiful verse. This is Samashitaye Padapallava Plavam. Plavam means boat. Padapallava Plavam. Plavam Padapallava Plavam. That means the Lord's lotus feet is considered to be a boat. And Samashita, Sampurna Rupena Ashritaha, taking Ashraya of Padapallava Plavam. And how is this Padam? Mahat Padam. It's so huge. Because it's so huge. And whose it is? Punya Yasho Murare. Muraris. He has killed Murari. Ari means he is the enemy of Muradaman. Ari, or the killer of Muradaman. So this Mahatpadam belongs to Murari. And the moment you take Ashraya of this Padapallava Plavam, what happens? Bhavam Buddhi, the whole Bhavasagara, huge Bhavasagara, that is birth and death cycle, so huge. It becomes Vatsapadam. It becomes like a place occupied by the Vatsa, the calf. Calf footprint is so much small. So whole Bhavasagara has become like this. So that is why a person who sits in the lotus feet of Krishna's boat, the whole Bhavasagara becomes so small, you can jump on the other side. Padam Padam, Vatsa Padam. So Param Padam. And very easy to go to Param Padam. That is Vaikuntha. That is the abode. And what is this? What is the nature of this material world? Padam Padam, every step, Padam Padam, Yad Vipadam Natesham. There is only Vipada. There is only danger. Wherever you walk, there is danger. There is danger in the house, there is danger outside the house, there is danger everywhere. Name a place where there is no danger. You say, no, my bathroom has no danger. No, even if you go there also, there is danger. There is danger everywhere. Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. Vipadam means danger. Every step there is danger. That is why Samashitai Padapallavam Mahat Padam Punyesho Murare Bhavam Buddhir Vatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yad Vipadam Natesh. It's the most beautiful verse. Try to memorize this verse and chant every day. Chant every day. At least you know first three lines, at least last line you should know. Padam Padam Yad Vipadam Natesham. In this material world, howsoever you may be careful, but every step there is danger. That is what to do. First line, Samashataye Padapallavaplavam. Then slowly, slowly, belongs to who and how the whole material world becomes. Who is Galaxy M32? How will I write? Who are present? Who is Galaxy? Who is Samsung? I'll write Galaxy. Who is present? Galaxy is present. Who is present? Samsung SM A566E is present. How will I know who is present? Was in a Bhakti Shastri class, we have to mark the present tense also. So who is Galaxy? Please unmute yourself. Who is Samsung? Unmute yourself. That is why person's name should be there. If I say Galaxy, unmute Galaxy cannot do. Samsung cannot do, isn't it? Anyhow, till the time you all unmute and write your names. Don't write all these names, Galaxy and Samsung. Write your names. Okay. 51st verse, Sonal, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Verse number 51. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinah janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gachanti anamayam. Translations and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. Purport. The liberated living entities belong to that place where there are no material miseries. The Bhagavatam 10.14.58 says, Samashitaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punya yasho murari bhavambudirvatsapadam param padam padam yad vipadam natesham. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Mukunda or the giver of Mukti, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint. Parampadam, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikuntha, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Chandraprati Prabhu, can you please mute yourself? Can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Where there is a danger in every step of life. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance only, less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and diseases, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord and thus knows the position of the personality of Godhead engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into the Vaikuntha planets, where there is neither material, miserable life nor the influence of time and death. To know one's constitutional position means to know also the sublime position of the Lord. One who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood to be in darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. He becomes a Lord himself and thus paves the way for the repetition of birth and death. But one who, understanding that his position is to serve, transfers himself to the service of the Lord, at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Loka. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or in plain words, devotional service to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah. Vaikuntha has been described. How is Vaikuntha? Where there is no misery. And how is this material world? At every step, there is only misery. So the comparison of the material world and the spiritual world has been given in this Bhagavatam verse. यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यततिरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतयस्य श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च यदा ते मोहकलिलं is a dense forest. And how is this dense forest? Dense forest of illusion. So, with the help of Buddhi Yoga, that means with the help of devotional service, Vyatati Rishyati, that means surpass. Surpass this dense forest. Tada Gantasi Nirvedam. Just become callous. Callous means whatever you must have heard till now, or whatever it is that is to be heard, that is Shoktavasya, Shutasya, whatever we have heard, just become indifferent to whatever we were doing. We may be doing many rituals. We may have done many different types of pujas, or we may have done many different types of yogas, or whatever path we may have applied, but become callous. That means become indifferent to whatever we have heard or whatever we are going to hear. That means these are all illusory things. Vedas speak about the karma kand. This karma kand is nothing but yamimam pushpitam vacha. They are like a flowery language. They may show many flowery things like the honey bush. They have beautiful flowers. But if you try to pick, if you try to pluck it, our hands will get hurt. In the same way, these flowery words of Vedas, they may attract us to Bhoga Aishwarya, Kriya Vishesha Bahula, pompous ceremonies, so many rituals, so many ceremonies. Every family has different methods. But very clearly it has been said, become indifferent to all these things. Just cross this illusory forest. That is so that also which forest is dense forest. In the dense forest, there is no hope of even the sunlight entering. So dense, everything is so dark. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That is why one takes the shelter of the lotus feet of spiritual master, so that he takes us out from this darkest region of this well. Here the darkest region of forest has been given. So what is the solution? How to come out of it? That is Buddhi Yoga, devotional service. Who engages us in devotional service? It is a spiritual master who engages us in devotional service. Anubhavari. Wait, there is a verse which I'll read now. 1 minute. Explain this verse first. Sandhya Vandana Bhadramastu. Who has written this verse? Madhivendra Puri. Yachaka Sannyasi, Sri Madhivendra Puri, who is in the line of disciplic succession. Actually, it is from only Madhivendra Puri. The highest rasa, that is Madhurya rasa, has been introduced. So here Madhvendra Puri says, Sandhya Vandana Bhadramastu Bhavato Bho Sanatubhyam Namo. I pay obeisances to Sandhya Vandana. I pay obeisances to the different type of bathing rituals. I pay obeisances. Sandhya Vandanam is done 3 times, isn't it? I pay obeisances to everyone. Ho Deva Pitarascha Tarpana Vidhau Naham Shamayata. I pay obeisances to all this tarpana, all these vidhis. Why? Yatra kwapi nishadya yavad kutottamasya kamsadushaha. Wherever I sit, I remember smaram smaram magham harami tadalam manye ki manye rame. So wherever I sit, I can remember only the great descendant of Yadu dynasty, that is Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa. And thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. This is sufficient for me. I am not able to do all these rituals. Please excuse me. Says, please excuse me, O demigods of forefathers. O bathing, O Sandhyavandanam, please excuse me for my inability to offer you the respect. That is what is the state of the Kali Yuga also. People don't have time to do all these rituals 3 times and bathing 3 times and then performing rituals to the demigods, forefathers, where there is time. That is why very simple process is given. That is Harirnam, Harirnam, Harirnam Kevalam Kalau Naste Vanaste Vanaste. There is no other solution in this material world. Except maybe one day we may do some ritual, but we cannot be so sincerely doing all the rituals. Neither we are so sincere in so many things. Better is chant the holy name, Kalidosho Viderajan, Hasti Yako Mahan Gura, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, the Sangha Param. There's so many doshas in this Kali Yuga, short life, short time, so many things are there. Manda Bhagya, Manda Buddhi, Manda Bhagya. But best is what? Just chant the holy name. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. A person just chants the holy name of Krishna, Mukta Sangha Param Praje. He automatically gets liberated from this bondage and attains the Param Padam. Okay. So, Anupama, please read.
यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च. Translation: when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Purport: there are many good examples in the lives of the great devotees of the Lord, of those who became indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. When a person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities. Even though an experienced Brahmana, Sri Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee and acharya in the line of the devotees, says, Sandhya Vandana Bhadram Astu Bhavato Bhoh Snana Tubhyam Namo Bho Deva Pitrascha Tarpana Vidhau Naham Shamyata Yatra Kwapi Nishadya Yadava Kulottamsasya Kamsa Dvisha स्मारं स्मारं अघं हरामि तद् alam manye kim anyena me. O my prayers 3 times a day, all glory to you, O Bating. I offer my obeisances unto you, O demigods or forefathers. Please excuse me for any inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayer 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in revealed scriptures. And similarly, if one has not understood that the purpose of Vedas is to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, etc., then he is uselessly wasting time in such engagements. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahma or range of the Vedas and Upanishads.
तदागन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोत्रवस्य श्रुतस्य च. नेक्स्ट. श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते यदा स्यात् निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगम् अवाप्स्यसि. श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते. Shruti means Vedic revelation, Vedic teachings. Viprati, pratipanna. One is not influenced by this Vedic revelation. Shruti vipratipannate yada sthasati nischala. Sthasati means he remains how he is unmoved by the Vedic revelation or Vedic teachings. Nischala, he is fixed up. Samadha vachala, samadho achalaha. See, again this word samadhi has come. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya prakatichetasam. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadho na vidhiyate. Who is interested in Bhoga Ishwarya, they will never attain samadhi. Here also it is there. Who remains fixed up, they attain. Now this is a positive statement. Samadha achalaha. They attain that transcendental consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness. Achalaha, they are unflinching faith. That unflinching buddhi, intelligence. Tada yogam avapsasi. So that self-realization is easily attained. Somebody asked the Prabhupada, what is the meaning of self-realization? Prabhupada said, work in Krishna consciousness. That is self-realization. How will a person understand his self, his position? By working in Krishna consciousness, he slowly comes to an understanding that I am not the body, I am soul. Oh, I am part and parcel of Krishna. Oh, I am servant of Krishna. Not just mere understanding, I am not the body, I am soul. Not just a mere understanding, I am the part and parcel of Lord. But the topmost understanding is, I am servant of Krishna. And that is known as perfect realization. The perfect, the level of Jnani, yes, I am not the body, I am soul. But then at the level of a devotee, yes. And then at the level of even a yogi, I am part and parcel of Lord. Like that everybody is part and parcel of Lord. But at the level of bhakta, I am servant of Lord. So he knows other two also at the same time. The highest understanding, yes, I am servant of Krishna. Okay. So 53rd verse, Vijay Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. Shruti vipratipanna te Yad asayati nischala samadhav achala buddhis tada yogam avapsasi. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Purport. To say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized the Krishna consciousness, that is, one in full samadhi has realized the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The highest perfection of self-realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in the fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Next one. So he's become indifferent to the Vedic revelations or Vedic teachings or the flowery languages of Vedas. Now, how a person can understand this, that he is in samadhi, how to understand a person is in samadhi, or what type of body language he has, what type of speech he has, how does he walk, how does he sit, body language, what are his characteristics. So, how to understand that he is a pure devotee? So, those lakshanas, now the question is asked by Arjuna, how to identify a pure devotee? Because here the previous verse, as we said, achalaha buddhihi, nischalaha, nischalaha buddhihi, achalaha buddhihi, how to understand? Who has achieved this? So Arjuna is asking, Arjuna uvacha, sita pragyasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava, sita dhikim pravasheta, kim asita prajeta kim, sita pragyasya ka bhasha. So one whose intelligence is fixed, sthita. It is then sthasati nischala. Sthita. Sthita means fixed up. Pragyasya means intelligence. How to understand his nischalaha buddhihi? How to understand that his intelligence is fixed up? What is his ka bhasha? What is his body language? Ka bhasha. Bhasha means language. What is his body language? Or how does he behave? Samadhi istasya keshava. O Keshava. How to understand this person has attained samadhi? Titadhi kim prabhasheta. How does he speak? Kim prabhasheta. What is his speech? How does he speak? How does he sit? Kim asita. How does he sit? Prajeta kim. How does he walk? Cat walk, dog walk, which walk? Has so many walks. Sita pragyasya ka bhasha. Samadhistasya keshava. Titaghi kim prabhasheta. Kim asita. Brajeta kim. So there are 4 questions asked. What is his body language? How does he speak? How does he sit? And how does he walk? So the Bhagavad Prabhupada says, till a person does not open his mouth, he will be known as a very learned person. A fool can keep quiet and be in the assembly of the Panditas. And people may think, oh, he's such a learned person, he's not talking. The moment he opens his mouth, they understand he's a fool. So if a fool doesn't want himself to be discovered, it is better he keeps quiet. There are so many Mauni Babas, Mauni Ammas. They think that by keeping quiet, they can try to prove their superiority. But that is not the work of a guru. A guru is one who should teach. You are not going to send your child where your teacher just keeps quiet. The parents will ask what your teacher did. She was just keeping quiet. Will you send the child to the school? So only foolish people go to such Mauni Ammas and Mauni Babas who just keep quiet. And Guru's work is to speak, to scold, to direct, to teach. So this is the work of a Guru. So that is why we said here, a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. Who is Samson? Still no, Samson has not revealed himself. Okay. Sonal Mataji, you read Vasudha Mataji, I think. Child is not well, Diya is in. You read.
I'll read, Mataji.
Yeah, read.
Yeah.
So Jai Shri
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Who is
Yeah.
there?
Who's there?
Who is reading?
Should I read, Mataji?
Yeah, Sonal read.
Yeah. Okay.
Achha, it is Diya.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
One minute, who is there? Diya is speaking or Sonal is speaking?
I am speaking, Mataji.
Achha, ठीक है. Read.
Okay. Text number 54. अर्जुनुवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितधीः किं प्रभाषेत किम् आसीत व्रजेत किम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged into transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk? Purport. As there are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation, similarly, one who is Krishna conscious has his particular nature, talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. As a rich man has his symptoms by which he is known as a rich man, as a diseased man has his symptoms by which he is known as diseased, or as a learned man has his symptoms, so a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various dealings. One can know his specific symptoms from the Bhagavad Gita. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks. For speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. The immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow as stated below. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So we have discovered who is Samson. It is Ishant. Okay. Now let us see the first one. Now Krishna is answering. What is his body language? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. प्रजाहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितः प्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते. So what is his body language? Krishna says, Prajahati, he gives up. Yada kaman, the desires for sense gratification. Sarvan, partha, whatever varieties of sense gratificatory things are there, he just keeps doing. Manahagatan, mental concoction. Atmani, in the pure state of soul. Eva, certainly. Atmanaha, by the pure mind. Tushtaha, satisfied. Sita pragyaha, transcendently situated. Tada, at that time, Uchate is said. So whatever sense gratificatory desires come out of mental concoction, this person just gives it up. Manah gatan sarvan kaman. Manah gatan sarvan kaman means whatever sense gratificatory things comes at the level of mind, because of the concoction, mental concoction. He just gives it up. Why? Why he can give it up? Because his mind is very pure. Atmanyehe atmanaha tushta. Atmani atmanaha tushta. Now Atmani is referring to the soul at the pure state of consciousness. Is Atmanaha tushtaha. The mind is satisfied. Now if the Atmani is compared to mind, then the pure mind experiences the pure mind. So Atmanaha, here soul, is satisfied. When the mind is pure, soul is satisfied. The pure state of the soul is there, then mind is satisfied. Vice versa. You can keep Atmani as mind. You can keep Atmanaha as soul. You can keep Atmani as a soul. You can keep Atmana as mind. Soul, mind, soul. So soul is satisfied when the mind is pure. Okay? Soul is satisfied when mind is pure. That means the thought processes are for serving Krishna. Now, mind is pure or can understand the purity when the soul is satisfied. The satisfaction of the soul gives purity in the mind. Satisfaction of the mind gives purity to the soul. You understanding? Satisfaction of the mind gives purity to the soul. In your soul is pure, but soul experiences that purity. Satisfaction at the level of soul, Atmanaha Tushtaha, the soul is satisfied, then yes, the mind experiences purity. That means at both the levels there should be satisfaction. Mind should be satisfied at the same time. By Krishna conscious activity, even the soul is satisfied. So buddhi, by intelligence, a person can give up all the mental concoction, the desires arising at the level of mind. When the desires are arising at the level of mind, with the intelligence, one has to give it up and experience purity at both the levels, that is at the level of mind and the level of soul, and experience satisfaction at both the levels, that is at the level of mind, at the level of soul. Okay? Mind is a gross body, soul is spiritual. Even at the level of gross mind, the satisfaction is experienced. You see, you chant nicely, you follow the regulative principles, you yes, Cheto Darpana Marjan, yes. Follow the regulative principles, you chant nicely, you follow your Guru Shishya Parampara, the mind experiences satisfaction. Automatically, the soul is also experiencing the bliss. And the soul understands, yes, I am servant of Krishna. Then mind is also experiencing satisfaction and bliss. Okay. So this is the body language. So in general, what is the body language of a self-realized soul? He is satisfied. He is in bliss. He is in bliss. He is satisfied. So this very important verse. The satisfaction is the characteristic of a self-realized soul. Generally, in our childhood, parents teach in the basic level first how to attain satisfaction by seeing somebody lower than you. Then you feel satisfied. But then at the highest level, how the satisfaction is experienced by serving Krishna. Now you're going to not be able to search everybody who is lower. Then why your father and mother they ask how many marks your friend got? Why you see somebody higher? Isn't is it not contradictory? One time they say, see somebody who is lower. If you ask some chocolates, oh father, you're not giving me this. Oh, I'm giving so many. Na? See that person who is not getting anything. Immediately comparison is there. But when the child gets marks and all, see how much your friend got. That means you're asking the child to see something higher. The child will be in confusion what to do, whether to see lower or to see higher. So in the material world, the whole teachings are as per the situations. It's only relative teachings. The spiritual teachings are when you engage your mind and your senses in Krishna service, one experiences the bliss and satisfaction. Okay, so read this. Vijit Prabhu, you read. So you're traveling.
Yeah,
You can read.
yeah, I can read. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati yada taman sarvan partha manogadan atmanyevatmana tushta sthita prajna stadochyate. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for all sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not transcendentally situated has no good qualifications because he is sure to be taking refuge in his own mental concoctions. Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction artificially. Such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous efforts. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation, for this devotional service will instantly help one onto the platform of transcendental consciousness. The highly developed soul always remains satisfied in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. Such a transcendentally situated person has no sense desires resulting from petty materialism. Rather, he remains always happy in his natural position of eternally serving the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
So what is his body language is over. Now, how does he speak? What is his speech? Let us see. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते. Okay. These two verses are there, 57 also. These two verses speak about how does he speak. Dukkeshvanudvignamana. Dukkeshu. In the threefold miseries, anudignamana. The threefold miseries. What are the threefold miseries? The miseries pertaining to body and mind. Adhyatmik tapa. As well as adhyatmik tapa. The misery pertaining to body and mind. You should write this verse. Adhyatmik tapa. Tapa means misery. And then adi bhautik tapa. Misery given by other living entities. Adi bhautik tapa. And then adi daivika tapa. Misery given by the nature, by higher authorities, nature. Adhyatmik tapa, that is body and mind. Adi bhautika tapa, by other living entities. Adi daivika tapa, that is by the law of nature or by supernatural powers. So now dukkeshu anudignamanaha, he is not agitated. Sukheshu vigata spruha, he is not interested. Vigata spruha means he is not interested in sukha also. He is not agitated in dukha. He is not interested in sukha. You understanding? In both the situation, he is equipized. He is calm. He is not agitated, nor he is carried away. He is not interested. Vita raga bhaya krodha. He has given up. He has given up. Or he is free from raga. Raga means attachment or desires. attachment. Bhaya, that is fear. Krodha, that means anger. So he is free from attachment, fear, and anger. And in this way, Sthita Dhir Muni Uchyate. Dhi. Sthita Dhi. His mind is fixed up. His intelligence is fixed up. And in this way, he is known as Sthita Dhir Muni. So now, describing first Muni. Who is a Muni? Muni is one. Nasa Urshirya Matam Navinam. Muni, there are many Munis. One Muni differs from another Muni. So, in real sense, he is not a Muni because their opinions are differing. But a real Muni is who? Nasa Rishirasya Matam Nabhinnam. His words, Sadhu's words, Shastra's words should not differ. It's not that varieties of opinion they have and they fight with each other. They are not called Muni. So which Muni we are speaking about? Sthita Dhir Muni. The one whose intelligence is fixed up, Sthita Dhi, that Muni we are speaking. We are speaking about that sadhu, that sage, who does not differ from the statements of Shastras, from the statements of Guru. So in this way, how is his speech? Dukkha, Dukkheshu Anudignaha. When some dukkha is there, he thinks that it is good. I have got it. I would have got more, but it is because of Krishna's mercy, it went in a small way. It went in a small way. And then when Sukha comes, oh, I am not qualified for this. Krishna is giving me this. I am not qualified. Two ways of speech is there. One is seeing the Dukha and saying, oh, went in a small way. And then another one thing is, oh, Dukha. What are these Dukhas in comparison to the miserable situation, separation from Krishna? I am not able to chant nicely. I am not able to I'm not able to have association of devotees. They are the miserable dukhas. And these small, small dukhas are nothing in front of this. I'm not able to serve. I'm not able to do nicely. That means dissatisfaction in devotional service makes him realize that that is the biggest dukha. Because he's dissatisfied, he wants to do more. So at that time, the smaller dukhas, nothing. Like the mother has lost the child. At that time, somebody comes and says, you know, water is not coming in the house. What she'll say? You nonsense. I am not interested in that water and all. I am interested in getting my son back, my child back. So when there is a big misery, the small miseries are insignificant. The biggest misery is separation from Krishna. Before that misery, all these are small, small miseries. The biggest misery, I am not able to chant nicely. When I chant, many thought processes come. That's the biggest misery. And Sukha, he is not interested in the so-called Sukha because when he's getting a fortune to serve Krishna, when he's able to make some bhogas for Krishna, he is able to associate with the devotees, that Sukha is so wonderful. That small, small Sukhas, like the mother got the child back. At that time, she has got the lottery also. She has won the lottery, and somebody says, you have won the lottery. She says that, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in getting my child back. So I got that. That Sukha is more. So comparison of the Sukhas. This is a speech what he has. So when this phrase is coming, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodaha. Now there is a dog. He's attached to the biscuit. Raga means attachment. The master shows the biscuit. The child jumps. The dog jumps to get the biscuit. And the master takes it more higher. Again the dog jumps to get the biscuit. But then the master, what he does is he takes a stick and beats the dog. So the dog goes back. Again shows the biscuit. Rag jumps to get it, makes it higher. then gives a thrashing. So now when the biscuit is shown, the dog forgets the attachment to the biscuit. What is he remembering? The beatings. Bhaya. What has happened? In the heart, in the mind, that bhaya has come. Oh, if I jump, I will get beatings. Now, but he is hungry. The dog is hungry. So then he gets wild with anger, goes and fights the master. That is known as krodha. So this is the state. Too much of attachment to these material things. They are the materialists. What they are doing? They're too attached to these material things. But the same attachment becomes a cause of their problem. You see, the child is attached to the balloon. It's a, what is it? Balloon, gas balloon. The moment the gas balloon is gone from the hands, the child starts crying. To whatever things we are attached, the same things becomes the cause of our problem. So there are people, they say, give up all these things. Let us focus on impersonalism. This personal form has given so much of trouble. To such an extent, they become impersonalists. They become impersonalists, and for them, even Lord is also impersonal. Because for them, misery means form. Form gives misery. The cause of misery is the form. So let us not have any attachment to the form. Let us become impersonalists. That's how they become impersonalists. And then there are people who, after becoming personalists, they are not experiencing the bliss. They are only having that bhaya. And then they express in the form of krodha. Anger is there. And what is that anger? Forget personalists, forget impersonalists. There is nothing, voidism. It's only voidism. They become shunyavad. So three people are spoken here. See, there is a biggest tattva in this. Raga is attachment. Indrapati Prabhu, mute yourself. Bhaya means because the form is giving me trouble, let me only have formless concept. That is impersonalism. And then this bhaya has gone to such an extent, still the experience of bliss is not there. So because of that hankering, what happens? He turns up to become a voidism, shunyavad. Oh, this is also not giving me any happiness. That was not giving, this is also not giving. Let me forget everything. There is only shunyavad. Buddhism is known as Buddhism. Okay, impersonalism. Many types of people are spoken in this. And then this verse, after that next verse. Okay, let us finish this verse first. Okay, Anupama, read.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृह वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते. One who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger is called a sage of steady mind. Purport. The word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. It is said that every Muni has a different angle of vision. And unless a Muni differs from other Munis, he cannot be called a Muni in the strict sense of the term. Nasa Rishir Yasya Matam Na Bhinnam. Mahabharata Vanaparva 313.117. But a Sthitadhir Muni, as mentioned herein by the Lord, is different from an ordinary Muni. The Sthitadhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. He is called Prashanta Nishesha Mano Rathantara. Stotra Ratna 43, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculations and has come to the conclusion that Lord Sri Krishna or Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva Sarva iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. He is called a Muni fixed in mind. Such a fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries, for he accepts all miseries as the mercy of Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past misdeeds. And he sees that his miseries, by the grace of Lord, are minimized to the lowest. Similarly, when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due only to the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. And for the service of the Lord, he is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. Attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification, and detachment is the absence of such sensual attachment. But one fixed in Krishna consciousness has neither attachment nor detachment because his life is dedicated in the service of the Lord. Consequently, he is not at all angry even when his attempts are unsuccessful. Success or no success, a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his determination.
So next one, last verse for today, because how does he speak? Is another one verse. Yah sarvatra visneham tat prapya shubham na vinandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratisthita. Yah sarvatra visneham. Yah sarvatra anavisneya. One who anavisneya, without any affection. This he is everywhere in this way. Tat tad prapya shubhashubham. Yes, sarvatra visneha tat prapya shubhashubham. He achieves something shubha, good, means whatever he desires. Ashubham, what he doesn't desire. Nabi nandati na dveshti. He neither praises nor dveshti, na envies. Tasya pragya pratishtita. In this way, he is fixed. He is neither praising it nor despising it. He is never affected by anything good or evil, whatever it happens. Okay. So read the last verse, Sonal, then we'll stop here. So two symptoms of Sthita Prajna, that is his body language and his speech, has been described by Krishna. Read this.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji. Shlok number 57. Yah sarvatra vishnehastattat prapya shubhashubham na vinandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratisthita. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. There is always some upheaval in the material world, which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good and evil, is to be understood to be fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one is in the material world, there is always the possibility of good and evil because this world is full of duality. But one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness is not affected by good and evil because he is simply concerned with Krishna, who is all good, absolute. Such consciousness in Krishna situates one in a perfect transcendental position called technically as Samadhi. Hare Krishna.
Okay, then. Stop here. Panchakalpatarubhyascha tapasvindubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Vishnu ki jai, Shri Krishna. Jai.